Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, what is up, team? Brandon Rahi here from Go Headquarters, bringing you the full breakdown for today's workout. So today we've got a really long 32-minute AMRAP coming your way, consisting basically of 3 movements. So hopefully you guys are ready for kind of a long endurance style Metcon. So without further ado, let's get you guys warmed up. I'm going to put one of these pull-up bands to use. We're going to do 3 rounds of 10 pull-aparts, 10 stiff leg deadlifts, and 10 squat thrusts. So for pull-aparts, we are going to grab this thing about shoulder width with straight arms, and we are just going to separate our hands until this thing hits us in the chest. So I am keeping my elbows straight. If you have a full loop band and the bottom end is just bouncing all around and driving you crazy, all you have to do, guys, is throw it over your back and wear it like a hula hoop. And then when you do your pull-aparts, that slack is managed really well by your low back. Okay, so that's the little trick to get rid of pull-aparts. Then for the stiff leg deadlift, so what we're after here, guys, is basically a hip hinge. This is just like a good morning. So I'm keeping my back nice and straight, my legs stiff, and as I come down in my hinge, I should feel a big pull on my hamstrings. Then I'm going to squeeze my hamstrings in my butt, and that brings me back up. But I want you guys to use this band for this today. So I can grab the ends like handles. Then I'm going to go down, and I'm basically going to step on this thing about hip width apart, make sure it's under the midfoot and it's not going anywhere, and it's symmetrical. So then you can kind of stand up and start at this top position. And now I'm going to do that same exact hinge we just discussed with stiff legs. So my knees aren't locked, and I'm not worried about how low I go. I just have a little resistance coming up. Okay, so that's going to be my stiff leg deadlift. If you need more weight, you can also, instead of grabbing inside the loop, you can choke down and grab the band itself, and that's going to make that heavier and harder. And then our third move is going to be just a squat thrust. So this is kind of like a burpee, but without the chest to floor component. So put my hands down, jump back to a straight plank, jump forward, jump up. So that's going to be my squat thrust. Notice my arms are staying stiff. I am not taking my chest to the floor. We're saving that for later. So 3 rounds of that, 10 pull-aparts, 10 stiff leg deadlifts, and 10 squat thrusts. Then we take it to the floor, a little more prep. We're only going to do 2 rounds of this combo, but we're going to do 10 reps each. So we're going to start with opposite limb extensions. So I'm in my push-up plank, shoulders above wrists, nice straight body otherwise. So I'm going to lift opposite limbs. So my right arm is up, my left leg is up. Hopefully I've maintained my plank. Come back down and switch sides. So the most common fault I see here is this, is people shift their butt up. So now I've broken shoulder above wrist, right? My shoulder should be way up here. So if we maintain shoulder above wrist, those hips can't really go anywhere. So we're going to do 10 total of those. Be patient, guys. That's not a fast move. It is a hand balancing move, and there's more core there than meets the eye. And then we're going to do 10 glute bridges. So laying down on your back, knees are about 90 degrees. Keep your feet flat. I'm going to send my hips and butt way up in the air. I'm squeezing my butt as tight as I can at that top position before returning down. So a little pause at the top each time. So 10 total glute bridges. So 2 rounds of 10 on each of those moves. And then, guys, we're basically ready to get into our Metcon. But we definitely need to go over how these burpees are going to go. So here's the Metcon ahead of you. 32 minutes on the clock. You are going to do 1 through 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these compounding burpees that we've got on the agenda. I'm going to describe that in a minute. Then you're going to do 8 pull-ups, and then you're going to do a 200-meter run. So 32 minutes, as many rounds as possible. 1 through 5 burpees. It's always 1 through 5, guys. Each round you're going to do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 according to how I'm going to explain that. Then you'll do 8 pull-ups. Then you'll do a 200-meter run. Okay, so 32 minutes of constant work there. Scaling this. If you don't have a pull-up bar, You can maybe go do what we call low bar pull-ups. You can maybe do those underneath a very stout, firm, solid wood table. If you have access to rings or a TRX, I will take 8 to 10 like ring rows or TRX rows, and then you can also do 12 renegade rows, which would be this guy with a pair of dumbbells. I would also take some renegade rows. That'll make that a little more of a push dominant workout with how we're doing the burpees. So let's go over these compounding burpees. What I'd like for you guys to do is take some object on the ground. I'm gonna just take this because that's what I've got. And we're gonna use that as our lateral hop over hurdle. Now, this is a bad example because it's basically flush with the floor. Ideally, that has a little bit of height. Maybe it's a dumbbell, maybe it's a kettlebell. Maybe you have your barbell with some plates on it, and so that's giving you, 9 inches of height, something like that. So let's go over this compounding burpee. Basically, what this is gonna look like is, I'm gonna go down like I'm doing a burpee, but now it's a strict push-up. And then instead of jumping in the air, it's gonna be a lateral hop, okay? So I just did one. So on my first burpee, I did one push-up and I did one lateral hop. But now I'm on my second rep. So now I need to do 2 push-ups and 2 lateral hops. So I go down, I'm gonna do 2 strict push-ups, come up, 2 lateral hops. 1, 2. Now I'm on my third one, so I need 3 push-ups. 1, 2, 3, and I need 3 lateral hops. 1, 2, 3. And then on my 4th rep, I would do 4 and 4, and on my 5th rep, I would do 5 and 5. So one round of that actually equates to 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 reps in total, okay? So it's actually a lot of push-ups and a lot of lateral hops, okay? So it's a strict push-up plus the same number of lateral hops over your object. So you might want to practice that a time or two before you start the timer, just to make sure that's locked into your head. But again, on the AMRAP, it is always 1 and then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. Then you advance to the 8 pull-ups. Then you advance to the 200-meter run. And then you start over, okay? So hopefully that tests you guys today on your wind and conditioning a little bit. 32 minutes is a pretty long time to keep moving on anything. So pace yourselves just a little bit. Should be just kind of steady and even keeled. Last couple minutes, of course, take the brakes off, get your foot on the gas, see what you can come up with. If anybody really wanted to challenge themselves on this and you've been practicing for Murph and you've been doing a lot of this bodyweight stuff, what am I about to say? That's right, wear that vest. For those of you that own vests and love wearing them on things, this would be a great challenge to wear that. Those push-ups are gonna get spicy with that vest today. So good luck, guys. Hit it hard, have a great day. We'll see you next time.